What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the garage. Today we got a bunch of things going on here. Well, within the next few days, because it's pretty much that time of year. We just lock yourself up in the garage, wrench on cars all day, wrench on the projects, whatever it is in the evening, afternoon, whatever that time of day may be for you. But I know it's that time of year for us. It's starting to get cold. We already got one project in here, which I'll show you guys in a bit. All you Volkswagen geeks, nerds out there like us are gonna love this thing. It's super cool. You guys already know we love our old school stuff, so check this one out. Here's the Rabbit pickup that we have here today. Caddy, whatever you guys want to call it, if you're in Europe, US, whatever. And this one specifically, it already has an ABA engine swap right here, as you guys can see, out of a Mark III Golf GTI Jetta. A bunch of things. Even a Passat came out with these engines, so pretty universal engine from that time for Volkswagen. Very, very common, which is what makes it such a great engine swap. It's so common. There's so many parts out there, and it's pretty cheap as well. If you need even a timing belt kit, it's gonna run you $100. So great engine. It's bulletproof, and it's a bunch of fun in these little cars. What do you think?
Hello,
what do you think about it?
Well, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start pulling out all the wire harness, the old harness. Our job is to make sure, wire up and make sure everything is running fine. Like, do all the coolant system, flush everything, make sure the fans work, lights, all kind of stuff, so it'll be ready to be driven in the roads. Actually, this motor come out of his Rabbit. That's
Gray
the
Rabbit
motor that he had with the one burner supercharged, but now he's doing a BR6 swap in that one. So
Why are you spoiling it? What if he wants to keep it a surprise?
I don't think so. I think you already know. People already know. We have to do gauges like oil pressure, water temperature, bolts, the usual stuff that we do at these cars. Just because they are old and the clusters sometimes they don't read properly and stuff. So we always like to do the aftermarket, so we know it's accurate. And I'm excited. Like this is home for me. Like this is what I like. I mean, nothing against newer cars. Like I always say, like they are nice and great and beautiful, whatever. But this is more rewarding for me. Like make these old cars drive better and keep it in the road. Like I'm excited when people decide to take a challenge and swap these cars to make it more reliable and more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Instead of just go buy a new one.
Just getting a new car.
Yeah. So I think to me this is a lot better. It makes me feel better. But
yeah, it's funny you say that. There's this YouTuber I was watching his video early today, and he's got like I don't know if you've seen him. He's got a Ferrari, like a F430 or something like that. He's got that. He's got a GT2, Porsche GT2, and then I guess he got sponsored or something like that. And Hyundai, they gave him like a brand new car, like a Hyundai or something like that. I don't even know what it's called, the Elantra. Yeah, and then he just put a bunch of parts on it like that, and now he's like, oh, I'm getting old, I'm getting mature. It's time to get a new car, something comfortable. He's like, this car is to get from point A to point B. That's what he said.
Right.
But no, we're not at that point yet. We're not that mature yet, unfortunately.
No.
Fortunately, I would say. Fortunately, we're not.
Yeah, fortunately. I don't think I ever gonna go away from these old cars. No matter what I buy, I drive the R32, the Mark V now. I've been driving it daily, and it's fine and everything. But it's nothing like this. Like when I used to drive one of these every single day, I think that was the most fun. Like just drive it on the streets and people, looking at you, and it's like, what is that? And you custom made it, you cut it. People don't even know what it is, and it's fun. It's pretty. I like it. They repainted. Used to be green, like you can see in the engine bay. It looks like it was green at some point. Now it's red. My favorite color.
You can see a little. It's like a green, a dark
like
green,
really
almost
dark
gray,
green.
grayish color.
Yeah, and it's clean. It's no rust in it, so
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, you can tell
a lot of them they get rusty, like all the towers.
Yeah, they're not repaired or anything.
All up here. No, it's still original, so it's clean.
Yeah,
I think it's a
great example.
Yeah, and just check the interior. I'm gonna take a look at the interior. Seems like they did a little bit of work, obviously, but it's so nice. Like the seats.
Yeah, got the red with the tweed. Tweed
Check
seats.
check the headliner. They did the headliner and everything, so it looks really good, nice and clean.
Where's the light?
The light is outside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah.
And then what is material is this? It's like some
It's
sort
like
of cloth.
a suede or cloth or
No, it's
something.
not.
Yeah,
Looks
but
good
it's
though.
really nice.
They did the B pillars as well.
Mm-hmm.
The back portion as well. That portion doesn't have any cloth or insulation, and now it's
No, it's
now
nice.
it's got cloth. It's been nicely upholstered.
Carpet and everything.
Nice carpet.
So somebody's been doing something good with this thing.
Gotta have the cross in the middle for good luck,
Yeah,
good fortune.
That's protection, man.
It's protection right there. That's insurance.
Yeah. Yeah, but
It's really complete.
I like the window also. This window you can open in the summer, so it's kind of cool to have a little more ventilation. The bed is not rusted. It seems like it was used for what it was. But
I think probably every single rabbit pickup is like this though.
yeah,
I've never seen one unless it's been restored
where
it's perfect.
repaired. Yeah, but it's seems like they're gonna be driving this thing for work or something.
And as you guys can see back here, we got the engine harness laid out as well. That's going to be going into this car.
That was the old harness out of his Rabbit. We're just gonna repurpose that one. I think he bought another one just in case, but that one was running fine with the car, so
That one should do.
we're just gonna clean it up. And I think at some point there was a corrosion in one wire or something we have to replace. But I think that's about it.
Just to mention, guys, this car is not going to be like a show.
No.
It's not a show quality build or anything like that. Like the other cars that we that you probably seen on the channel. Gotta be realistic. Every car is not going to look like that.
No.
Every car has its own purpose. This car is going to be more of a driver. It's going to be more intended to be used most of the time, which unfortunately you just can't do with the show car. So.
And I think it's worth mentioning, like, in the past I had comments that people say, oh, why these people's car doesn't look like yours, or why you did better job with this one than the other one. And it's not that we want to do better job in one than the other, but it's just what the person wants to get it done and what's the purpose of that car. Like, if somebody's willing to spend a lot of money and the other person is just want to have a daily driver or something to drive from point A to point B, doesn't care about shows, doesn't care about any of that, obviously it's not going to look the same. The quality of work is going to be there, but it's not going to be like a show purpose build.
Yeah, regardless of whatever's going to be put into this truck, we're going to do everything that we can to the best of our abilities to meet the owner's budget.
Exactly.
That's the way it's got to be.
Just whatever.
But of course, we're not going to do trash work.
No,
our budget is.
No.
We have
we
have standards. We have standards here as well.
I always said it to everybody when I do something for them. Is like I don't do cheap stuff because I like to spend my time and I like to get it done right. If they're looking for something cheap and ugly or shitty or half-ass job,
this is not
else.
The place. No,
this is not what I do. I don't like to do that kind of stuff. I mean, we're not perfect and we might screw up somewhere, but we can always fix it and redo it, or if we're not happy, we'll redo it again. We're not just gonna let it go.
I wanted to talk about the engine bay a little bit too. It's got a few bits and pieces, guys. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's got a bunch of chrome little things, chrome little parts here and there. As you guys heard earlier, this was an Avila's Mark 1 GTI. That one was a all-out show car. That one's super clean shaved engine bay. Everything you guys can tell. It's got the chrome valve cover, engine block painted, transmission painted.
Even he had the beauty
washers as well
from Justin Sells. It's got the beauty washers.
Billet beauty washers.
Yeah.
So it's gonna look great, regardless if it's not a show car or not. It's gonna look really nice.
And to be honest with you, with these old cars, you don't really have to open the hood when you go to a show. Just go park it, and people will still appreciate that it's still on the road.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's got a bunch of other pieces too, for the people with an eye for that. What is this, a chrome or a polished throttle body? Super difficult to do. It's got the S&P adapter right here to lower the throttle body, so the bracket isn't hitting the hood. It's placed here in the original position. Yeah, just a bunch of bits and pieces. Aluminum radiator too. Like it's got a few things here and there, guys. It's
the slim fans and
Really cool truck. Really cool truck with a bunch of cool little parts here and there. That's enough talking about this truck. I think it's time to get working on it.
Yep.
First things first, we're going to be taking out the old engine harness. Looks like it's still in there.
Yes.
Engine harness still here.
Yeah, even the coil.
The coil, the OEM original coil is still here as well. So we're going to take that off, make the engine bay look a little bit cleaner. And yeah, we keep the original harness for the lighting still.
Yeah, we just got to make sure they work, like make sure
everything works. But we keep that. We try to keep that as is. And yeah, after that, throw in the other harness. Make sure it runs. Get the fueling. Make sure the fueling system is good as well, and then move on to the cooling system at the end. And that's it.
Yeah. You gotta make sure check brakes and everything else.
That as well.
Sure is good.
Let's get to it. All right, so quick update on the pickup. Just before we put in the new harness for the ABA engine, we got the old harness out. This is it right here, right? This is the old one right here. As you can see, it's all pulled apart now. Like we said before, this is only the engine harness. We're gonna keep the original chassis, the chassis harness for the lights and everything. That's still gonna be inside the truck. You can see it right there. That's where it runs through the front, all the way to the side, all the way across over there to power the headlights on that side, the side blinkers and everything.
As well as the fence as well as
the fence too.
And the fence, they're gonna be running with the original harness. We're not doing any of that. We're just making sure has power and runs fine.
Yeah, it looks. Was the engine harness already there, or did you put that?
No, he had it there.
It was already there. Okay.
Yeah, he had it in the motor.
All right.
So, but yeah, this is it. This is what we have.
Yeah, this one you've been having a little bit more trouble on.
Yes.
Right.
This one,
Someone already messed with this one a good amount.
Somebody messed with this harness, and I mean, let's just say somebody messed with it, and I had to clean it up and fix up a couple of things. I hate it when people just cut the wires and splice them together and put a tape in it and don't solder it or do anything like that. I mean, you can probably do it with the speaker or something like that, but not when you're dealing with sensors and all of that. You have to do really good connections, like solder it and heat shrink it, or if you don't have the skills or you don't have the equipment, you can also, let me show you what you can use. You can use these type of connectors. They work really well. I like it when they done right. If you just make sure you put the wire in, and also you can press this to the wire and you can heat it up and it shields them nice. So this is something that you want to use if you don't have the solder and solder and heat shrink.
Yeah.
So that's what you do. That works too. So don't just splice them together and tape it. There's not a good connection, and eventually you will have corrosion.
It's gonna loosen up.
Problems, and then you don't know where your problem is. After it's all taped and stuff, then you don't know where your problem is. So it makes it harder. So
definitely, we've seen that a lot, many times.
Many times.
And
we struggle with that kind of stuff.
And the thing is, since this harness, someone already did this. Someone, like we said, this was for a show car before, so it was extended.
I did it original. Like I did the harness the very first time. I did it, and then he went to somewhere else, to a body shop, and they pull out the motor, they pull out the harness, and supposedly they were going to send it, but they just did something that they should have not done. But anyways, it was running. The car was still running. They put it in, and he was still running, but I know he was having a couple of issues in the very end. But again, we're just fixing it up right now. We're making sure it's all good to go now.
Yeah, that's the problem when you're messing with someone else's work. You don't know what they did. They know what they did. They know their work, but we don't. We don't know what's going on.
Under the tape. There's a thing like when he went and picked up the car, it was nice and whatever, looks good, but obviously when I pull out the tape, I find the cut wires. They have some splice wires, like I said, just with the tape in it, and that's not the way it should be. So it's all cleaned up now. It's all ready to go.
Let's just focus on that, the fact that it's fixed. It's should be in good working condition now. We can move on from the harness. Well, not move on completely. We still got to get it installed. make sure the car's running, and we'll see what goes from there. Let's make sure the car runs first, make sure this harness is good. We'll go from there.
Yeah, first thing is first fire it up. That's how I always do. Make sure I run the harness, I fire it up, make sure everything is reading correctly. Sensors like oil pressure, temperature gauge, and all that kind of stuff. Once everything is working, then I can I kind of pull it out again and just retape, like with the harness tape, make it look nice, and then we start putting everything in place the way it should be to make it look like OEM sort of thing. So
yeah, we'll be back in a bit, make some progress on this thing, and let's get it running. So we're just about ready to get the first startup on this thing. We got the engine harness all mocked up, installed. That's the throttle body right there. Fuel lines connected. Got the coil in place connected as well. Battery in place as well. I think it's ready for the first startup, or at least for the first attempt.
yeah.
Let's see what it does. Yeah, no leaks.
No leaks.
No fuel leaks or anything.
No fuel leaks mainly, and we still have to do the cooling. But we fired it up. That's what pretty much is important.
Yeah. All right, so now with the engine running, we can move on to the aftermarket gauges. Unboxing them right now. Looks like it's 3 of them.
It's the first time we're running this, so I'm excited because instead of having 3 gauges, especially like these older cars, that they don't have much room in the dashboard, and I think it's more convenient to have just one. It's the water temperature, oil pressure, and voltage. So this is what it looks like. I think it's gonna be nice. Wire harness needs to be connected. Let's check it out. I think the sensors. Oh, this is the oil pressure sender unit, and
so it uses all just electrical readings. No more. It's not gonna have the actual oil pressure line or
the water temperature line.
Water temp.
Yeah.
All electric signal.
It's all electric signal. Sorry, where's the plug? The S&P. We gotta show them that one too. This is what we use, guys. You can find it in S&P website. These are gray design. Basically, billet. Yeah, basically you just screw your mount. I mean, you sensor here.
Temperature sensor,
water temperature, and you gotta hook up a ground to this one, because otherwise it will not work. It will not send signal if you don't hook up this bolt to a ground. And this is where we pretty much like to set it up, since we're not using this plug anymore. So we just replace this one, and we put this one in, drop it in, and hook up the ground wire to this one, just from here to here, and it's gonna read 100%. So a lot of people know these old cars, the clusters, sometimes they don't work properly.
He's using the original cluster, right?
Yeah, we're keeping the original cluster. So for sure this will be more accurate, and as well as the oil pressure. Like in these motors, basically all you need to know is you have a good oil pressure, and it's not overheating, and you body the voltage, and that's all they need to run in gas.
Yeah.
So,
all right, we'll be back then once it's all installed and reading correctly. We'll be back. So the Caddy's almost wrapped up pretty much over here. Still got a few odds and little bits and pieces to wrap up. Figuring out where to place the ECU, wrapping up the gauges inside, but we're gonna take a break from this for a bit because we got some other goodies coming in. Check out the SUV, the Porsche, the Cayenne. We got it packed to the brim right now. So, almost hit up the top, but we went to an old friend of my dad's to pick up an engine and a harness, transmission, a bunch of things, and then some goodies in here in the boxes as well. We're gonna be doing something with this engine pretty soon. Gonna keep it as a surprise for now. Maybe in the next few weeks when we'll review the car that's gonna be that the engine's gonna be going into. But yeah, let's get it out of here, because I don't even remember how we managed to even get it into the trunk of this thing. These things are tiny.
Yeah, it was a struggle, but we got it in.
All right, so here is the engine. We finally managed to get it out of the Cayenne. It was a little bit easier to take it out than to put it in. But the good thing is that nothing happened on the trip or anything like that. And as you can see, this is actually a 3.2 VR6. So it looks like this one is out of a the Mark IV generation.
Mark IV.
So yeah, the sweet thing about these is that they have the forged crank in them out of factory. And the Mark V, that time era, after the whenever these came out, the Mark IV generation, those don't have forged crank. So a little bit added bonus with these. And as you can see, it's got a bunch of cool parts as well. Polished, high polished, I would say.
High polish and chrome.
High polished and chrome?
Yeah, there's been chrome.
Valve cover?
Yeah. And the tiny...
So, I mean, this is probably worth more than how much the engine, how much you get an engine for is right there.
And the covers as well.
Yeah, upper and lower. Timing chain covers are polished and chromed as well. So, look at that. It looks like a mirror. Even down here where no one's ever going to see. Just a crazy finish. A little bit dusty. It's been sitting for a few years now, I would say.
Yeah, a couple of years now.
It's got a, you can see a custom aluminum coolant reservoir right there. It's got the harness. Gonna need some little bit of work here and there. This is gonna go. These get eliminated. And yeah, it's just dusty. It needs a good cleaning. It's in good shape though. What we're gonna be doing with this later on, we're not gonna say yet. I mean, the car's been, I think he said the car hasn't been out in 10 years. So, I mean, if it's been away for 10 years, you guys can wait another few weeks or so to see the car. It's an insane car. I mean, you guys can imagine if the engine has all these crazy expensive parts. Just imagine the car that it's gonna go in. It's definitely gonna match the level of this engine and all the stuff it's got done to it. You want to say anything?
Yes, I want to say. I don't even know what to say. No. No, we're gonna start taking it apart. We gotta make sure, check the chains, guides, make sure everything is good. If we need to replace it, we will replace it. We gotta check the clutch, flywheel.
Yeah, because this is the time right now. All the engine is apart, engine's out. You don't have the restrictions of having the engine bolted into the car. So there's definitely time to do that. Make sure everything's all right.
We gotta work on the engine before we bring the car in. So we gotta have the engine ready to go, so we can get the car in. Then we can
rip the engine out. That's in that car. That's another crazy engine already in the car.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool what he's got.
But
somebody, keep an eye out, guys. As far as I know, that engine is gonna be for sale. It's something cool, like an old school engine.
Yeah, I wish
we'll let you know.
I wish I could afford it.
Yeah.
For the rabbit.
That's quite a bit of money. That engine,
oh yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. But yeah, this is just a quick, I guess, little teaser for the next few episodes what we're going to be working on. So here we are. Truck is pretty much ready. It's about to be picked up right now. It's literally midnight. In pajamas.
He was working, and he asked if he can pick it up later. So we just want to show you how it looks when it's done, and a couple of things that we talk about it that we do. Again, this is the sending unit for the temperature gauge we use.
See if I can get a light.
Yeah.
Get a light right here.
Oh, he's here now.
He just got here.
As we were saying, this is the plug we use for sending unit for the temperature gauge, and this is a sending unit for the oil pressure gauge.
Oil pressure over there.
So, since like I think I mentioned that before, that sometimes these clusters are old and they don't really work well. So that's a way we know the oil pressure is there and the truck will not overheat, or at least it will read the temperature correctly. And this is pretty much how we do the wire harness. We run the harness back here. We put it through the grommet. We use a grommet. Put it inside with the ECU. Will sit inside the cabin, and it will not trap any moisture or any of that. And then we just run the wiring along here to the front.
Yeah.
So this is the other part of the harness.
That's it. I also want to show you guys the. We didn't show them the sensor, not the sensor, the gauge over here. So unfortunately, the truck. Should I turn it on? No, it's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late. It's midnight.
Close the door if we're gonna
turn
it on.
Yeah, but it works right here. You can see the Coolant temperature right here, it's reading
We will
fine.
have it running.
Oil pressure, obviously the truck isn't on, so it's not reading, but they all read fine. So pretty nice, one little gauge instead of having the big 3 gauges right here.
Gauges.
Yep. There you go, as you guys can see right there. Oil pressure reading just fine, 80 psi. Pretty neat little gauge right there. I'd highly recommend it if you guys see them online. We'll try to find a link for you guys. Post it in the description, but like it a lot actually. There it is, guys. Headed out. No trailer, no nothing. Just getting hauled over by with the bumper. So there it is, guys. One more ABA Mark 1 project wrapped up. Kind of lost count how many we've done over the past few years, but still continues to be an awesome swap for those platforms. One of my favorites of all time for sure. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, I know it's not you know, the cleanest engine bay or the most expensive build or the shiniest build, but I still think it's an awesome little project. That's just a reality of car building. Not everyone wants a show car. Not everybody wants, you know, the pristine paint job with the pristine engine bay and all of that stuff. Some people just want a car to cruise around with, to enjoy. Still a really cool car. Love working on it personally. It's those those old cars that you don't see often, and owners put their own personal touches on it. That's what I think is the best part about these cars. Not really who can build the best car or something like that. That's well, that's my personal opinion. Really cool car to work on and see and be a part of. So we'll keep you guys updated with that 3.2 engine that we were mentioning earlier. Can't wait for that one. Really excited to work on that car actually. Hopefully we'll have it here in a few weeks, but it's gonna wrap it up for this, guys. Peace out.